Christy Brossart, this is Chester, and we are here to give you a bent arm strength workout. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin with a wrist and finger warm up. Really important if you're going to be doing things like push-ups and also training on the rings, which we're going to be doing in this workout. So we're just going to start on our hands and knees, and the first thing you want to do is engage your hands with the floor. So let's kind of just run through that quickly. We want to think about the heel of our hand pressing into the floor, both on the thumb side and the other side. And then we want to think about this knuckle area where our calluses are pushing into the floor. So we've got as much of the palm of our hand on the floor as we can. We're going to bend our fingers slightly and almost grip the floor with your fingers as if you're trying to pull the mat towards you. And we're just going to start in a little bit of a wrist stretch, keeping the heel of your hand down, keeping your knuckles down. Chester's making it hard for you guys to see what's going on with my hands. For about 15 seconds, we're just going to hold that position. Okay? Moving about, exploring as feels good in your hands. Then we're going to sit back, and from here, we're going to pull our fingers, keeping our knuckles down, towards our knuckles, and extend. So I'll move my hand a little. Chester decided to lie on the floor, pulling our hands towards our knuckles. And we're going to do 10 reps. And this is very challenging. The more you sit back, the easier this becomes. The more you come up, the more challenging this becomes. You'll feel those muscles in your forearms start warming up as you do this. Okay, so 10 reps. And then the last one we're going to do is finger doming. So for this, we're making a nice smooth curve with each of our fingers, and we're just going to load in this position. Okay, this building a little bit of strength in our fingers and warming them up. We don't want these spider fingers in this position. What we're trying to do is create a nice, strong bridge shape with our hands. So 15 seconds here, and then we'll come back. 15 seconds. Playing around, warming up your wrists, focusing on how your hands are engaging with the floor, feeling your knuckles pushing down, leaning forward a little bit, feeling the heel of your hand pushing down. Coming back into your finger pulls. So we'll go 10 reps. Might be able to see better now. Chester's not in the way. And then another 15 seconds in our hand doming exercise. To warm up our shoulders, we're going to do a circuit of 3 exercises. The first is scapular pull-ups. So we're going to hang on our rings, or if you have a bar, you can use a bar. We're just going to hang, and from this position, keeping our arms straight, we're just pulling our shoulder blades down and then relaxing. Okay, so we're going to do 10 reps of scapular pull-ups. We're going to do 10 reps of full range of motion push-ups, incline push-ups, and then we're going to do 10 reps of an incline ring row. And the intention with these movements is not to go to the most challenging push-up and row variation you can do. We're really warming up that range of motion of our shoulders and arms. So let's begin with the scap pull-ups. For our incline push-up, I really want you to think about how your shoulders are moving as you do this exercise. So we get into a plank position, very nice and tight, straight arms, straight body, okay? This stays the same throughout the movement. We begin in protraction. So protraction means your shoulder blades are moved away from each other, okay? So you're reaching as far forward as you can, okay? And you feel that both here and here. It doesn't come from this rounding of the upper back, it comes from this moving of the shoulder blades. So see if you can feel that difference, okay? So we begin in that protracted position, nice straight body. As we lower in, our shoulder blades will start to come together slightly. We don't have to squeeze them together as much as we can. but they're gonna come together slightly. So we wanna make sure we allow that range of motion. And then as we push back up, back into that full protraction. So you're really working on full range of motion of your shoulders as you do this exercise. The final exercise in this shoulder warm-up sequence is incline ring rows. So for this, you really want to think about range of motion and pulling through a full ring row range. So we're starting in a protracted position. Shoulder blades are as far from your spine as you can. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together to begin the movement, and then pulling your hands right to your chest, okay, and pulling the rings right to your chest. As you do that, your body is staying straight. You're not arching into that position. So your body's staying straight, but you're pulling and getting that range of motion through your shoulders. Like that one? Yeah, is that good? So you're going to do 3 rounds of the scapular pull-up, the incline push-up, and the incline ring row. And by the time you finish that, your forearms, your shoulders, everything should be nice and warm and ready for your supersets. For our first superset, we're going to be doing an eccentric pull-up and a stick extension raise. So for the eccentric pull-up, you're going to either begin by jumping to the top position, or if you have a step that you can stand on and start in that top position. We're going to hold for 2 seconds at the top, lower for 3, and if you're lowering, if your rings are set at a height where you're going to hit the floor, try and hold your legs in a hollow position, because that's going to maintain a better body position than bending your legs. And we're alternating that with stick extension raises. So for this one, you're holding the stick behind you, palms facing forward. Your shoulders are rolled down and back, so we're not allowing your shoulders to roll forward. We're holding for 3, and then lowering, nice and slow for 3. Okay, we lift, hold for 3, and lower for 3. Okay, we're doing 5 reps. Now, after you've done this a few times, you might want to add a small weight plate to your stick or use a heavier stick, and that'll make that movement more challenging. So you're going to do 3 to 5 rounds of the pull-up and stick raises. For this superset, we're going to alternate push-ups with W lifts. So for the push-up, exactly the same technique as the incline push-up. We're going from protraction as we're in the plank position, our body stays tight, and we lower, going into a little bit of shoulder blade retraction where your shoulder blades come together, and then pushing out of that as you come up. What we're going to do with this exercise is we're going to use a yoga block to keep ourselves honest. So we want to be keeping our forearm vertical. So the yoga block, we set that up in front of our arm, and that keeps us honest, well, behind our arm. We're going to alternate our push-ups with W lifts. So the idea of W lifts, you're lying on your stomach and you're setting up in this position where your forearm is parallel to your body, and then your upper arm makes this W shape. So we're lying on our stomach and we're going to lift our arms off the floor. You want to make sure that your hands and your elbows lift off at the same time. Now this lift comes from both our shoulder joint and our shoulder blades squeezing together. So we're lifting as high as we can, keeping this parallel to the floor. Okay, so it's not We're not just lifting our elbows or just lifting our hands. We're trying to keep that forearm parallel to the floor. We're gonna lift, hold for 10 seconds, and we're gonna repeat that for 3 to 4 rounds. You're going to alternate those two exercises, the push-ups and the W lifts, for 3 to 5 rounds.